Say record. All right. Let's actually make sure we are good to go. Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Yes, we are live. Awesome. Good. Good. Okay. Trying to go to studio. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay. Oh shoot, Izzy, you're already here, bro? That's crazy. It's a lot of Sonics. Okay, yeah, it is. Ugh. I think I've played at least most of these. All right. Okay. You know, I kind of want to get some music going while we're doing this because I don't want to do this in like just complete silence. So let me get some music going. I'm gonna do Adventure 2. Let's see. All right, where's Green Forest? No, you know what? Not Green Forest. You know what? Yeah, Green Forest. What am I thinking? If I could find it. Where is it? Son of a bitch. Am I just... Oh. Here we go. Okay. All right. How does that sound? Is that too loud? Is that music too loud? Or is it just fine? It's good? Okay. Okay, good. All right. So let's start with Sonic 1. Now, I do have respect for the very first game, but I want to put it in B tier because, like many things, it's a very, it's the first of its kind, really. There was Green Hill and Starlight Zone, which were good. There was Marble Hill Zone and Springyard Zone, which I thought were okay at best. But then you have Labyrinth Zone and Scrap Brain Zone, which are just abysmal to go through. Labyrinth Zone being like the water stage, and it just goes so freaking slow in that. And the boss fight, I didn't really like it as well either in that one. You kind of have to like climb up a tower basically. It's not even really trying to fight Eggman. It's just trying to get through the rest of the stage while avoiding like spikes and stuff. And then with Scrap Brain Zone, literally the first few seconds you start running into a level, there's like a panel that'll open up from the floor and you'll fall into a pit. And like, I don't know, Scrap Brain is just like, fuck you, the level. And then the third act for Scrap Brain is literally just Labyrinth Zone Act 4, and I hated that shit. But overall, I still respect this title. I like to go back to it every once in a while. But I think it's a solid B tier at best. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like keeping it right here. Okay, okay, Sonic 1 on the Game Gear, I can't say I can give this one a rank because I didn't beat it fully, so I'm gonna put this in the never played section. I've played a little bit of it, but not enough of it for me to justify my opinion on it, if that makes sense. Same thing for Sonic 2 on the Game Gear. I don't have much to say about it because I've only played a little bit of it. Okay, next we have the actual Sonic 2. I want to say this is a solid A tier at best. Literally almost no bad zone in this game, or a dull moment, except for like the very last one, Metropolis, where it's got like, just, in my opinion, kind of pretty bad enemy placement. There's 3 acts. You got the little starfish. You got the little starfish badniks that are in the walls and they spew out spikes when they explode. as you're trying to go up little screw elevators. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know if you played Sonic 2, Izzy. I don't know. But yeah, also the special stage. I forgot to mention the special stages in Sonic 1 as well. They're not fun either. You're like, it's basically like trying to control a pinball in like a maze or something like that. Then with Sonic 2, you have the half pipe, and nobody likes the half pipe. It's janky as shit to control, especially when you also like play it where you're playing as Sonic and Tails. You pretty much have to control Sonic and Tails at the same time in the half pipe, and it's like there's a delay on when Tails is gonna move, basically. But for the most part, this is always really fun to go back to. Okay, next is Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog. This was an arcade title, so I can't say I've ever played this. I don't know if it's still possible to play it or emulate it or anything like that. If there is, then maybe I'll find a way to play it, but for now I've never played this at all. This is actually the game that introduced Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel even, who have been mostly dormant for a while until Mania came out. Next up is Sonic CD, which I want to say. Okay, wait, what? I've only played the ones on the N64, but I don't know which. If you okay, on the N64. That's funny, Izzy. Okay, because N64, that was a Nintendo console, and at the time, Sega was still their own independent company. They made their own consoles, basically. These days, they don't make consoles anymore. They are just a third-party company and just put their games on every other console, like PlayStation, Xbox, all that. But at the time, around... No, I meant Sega! Ah, okay. You're good, you're good. Did you have, like, a Genesis, maybe? Because that's what the console was called that had Sonic 2 on it. We had a Sega console and 64. Yeah, okay, I got you. Nah, you're good. Okay. Now, next up we have CD, and I think this is pretty much C tier at best. I don't really like it because the level design is more catered to exploring the level rather than trying to go fast in it from left to right. It doesn't make sense to me as a Sonic game. Also, some of the stuff to get like the good ending in the game, you have to like destroy time monitors. But to do that, you have to somehow try and travel to the past. I really don't get it. I never cared for the time travel mechanic. It always just confused the shit out of me. And then there's also collecting the time stones, which I don't care to do, because the same process of collecting the time stones is the same process as collecting the Chaos Emeralds in Sonic 1. It's not fun to me. And just like the zones weren't fun either, to be honest. None of them were really that fun. Yeah, but I don't think it's a bad game overall. I think it's just my own preference that doesn't like it, which is why I don't want to put it in D tier, because I don't think it's a bad game. Honestly, I just think it's a bit of a dumbed down version of Sonic 1, basically. Yeah, I think I can safely say that. Okay, next up is Sonic Chaos. This was also a Game Gear title, but I'm gonna put it in here because I never played it. Next we have Sonic Spinball, another one that I also haven't played. But it's kind of like just controlling Sonic as a pinball in a pinball game, but I don't know. It's weird. It's not like a regular pinball game. It's so weird. I don't know how to describe it. Okay. Sonic 3. Okay. Next we have Sonic 3. Oh wait, no. Okay, so this is weird. This tier list has Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but then it also has Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3. For those who don't know, Sonic 3 and Knuckles was supposed to be like one game period. And Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic and 3 are basically these are basically two halves of this one game. And the reason for that is because Sega at the time made a deal with, no joke, McDonald's. And because of that, they had to split the game in half. And that's why on this tier list we have Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, but then also Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's confusing. I know. I'm not gonna count either of these because I personally, some people like to count this as two separate games, but I like to count it as just one game because that's what it was meant to be. Literally because of the McDonald's ad or deal is why it's one whole game instead of these two games. But yeah, anyways, my opinion on Sonic 3 is that this is a solid S tier game. In my opinion, there's almost never a single dull moment in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. There's a couple hit or miss zones in there. I'll admit Sandopolis is a bit of a doozy. It's very long, it's tedious, and just not very fun to play through. But what I really like about it is just the process of getting the Chaos Emeralds is a lot more fun with the Blue Sphere levels. Oh yeah, being able to play as Tails and Knuckles, and also be able to gather the Chaos Emeralds and get their super forms as well. Oh yeah, this also gave us this isn't just give us the chance to transform into Super Sonic, but also the chance to transform into Hyper Sonic, because you could collect the Chaos Emeralds and the Super Emeralds, and it was cool. It was really cool. What else could I say about it? Oh, I like the Insta Shield mechanic. So basically, what the Insta Shield is like you could jump in the air as Sonic, and while you hit the jump button while you're already in the air, you have like a split second where you have a shield around you. And I think it's cool. Hold on, this music is distracting me. Hold on, I'm gonna pick different music. Eh, 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 eh. What in the world? Good lord, stop it. Hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna do this. Oh wait, no, that's the hub world. Where is, okay, Windmill Isle. There we go. Alright. I can get down with this. Yeah. Alright. Where was I? Oh yeah. There's not really much else I can say about Sonic 3. Why I think it's S tier. Ah. Yeah, I have nothing else really to say about it. And I just think this is a solid S tier game. I always go back to it every chance I get, whenever I feel like it. Sonic Drift. This was a racing game on the Game Gear, and I can't say I've played this one either, honestly. Pretty much most of the Game Gear titles I've never played ever, because, I mean, to be honest, I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably don't even know what a Game Gear even is. It's basically Sega's version of like the Game Boy, if that makes sense. Sonic Triple Triple, also a Game Gear title I did not play. This just says Chaotix. I'm gonna assume this is for Knuckles Chaotix, because if so, then also did not play, because there's literally no way for anybody else to play this right now. This was a game that was made for the Genesis, for the 32X add-on for the Genesis, and ever since then it hasn't been remade or re-released or anything like that. There's no way to play this in the modern day unless you own a Sega Genesis with the 32X add-on, and that's extremely hard to find these days. Extremely. Alright. Next we have Sonic Drift 2. Again, also did not play that. But from what I heard, they're not they're not anything special. They're not giving Mario Kart a run for their money. I mean, usually nothing these days gives Mario Kart a run for their money, but anyways. Alright, now Sonic Labyrinth. I did play this one, but I didn't play it on the Game Gear. When I had a 3DS, there was a version of this game on it. And I want to say this is also a C-tier game, because a lot of people say it's like one of the worst Sonic games, but I disagree. It's not that bad. Basically, in this game, you're slow as heck. Dr. Eggman basically switches Sonic's speed shoes for slow shoes, I guess. And that's why you're just super slow walking all the time in this game. And to go fast at all, you have to do spin dashes over and over. But in this game, it's like a puzzle game of sorts, where you're just walking around the room looking for 3 keys to go to the next level. You're solving puzzles as you're doing it. I don't remember too much about it, but I just remember like I did enjoy it as like a good time killer. Nothing I would consider like really fun, just something good enough to distract me, I guess. That's why I want to go ahead and just put it in C tier. Okay. Sonic Blast. This was also another Game Gear title. Again, didn't play it. I didn't play most of the Game Gear titles. But they are coming out with an update for Sonic Origins where they're gonna add all the Game Gear titles to that game. So then I'll have a way to play all of them, I guess. So that'll be fun. Alright, next up we have Sonic 3D Blast. I've played a little bit of this one, but not fully. So I'm gonna also put it in the never played section because I haven't played enough of it to really give an opinion on it yet. What's next? Sonic the Fighters. I didn't play this one either, but I really want to. It's like one of those little wacky arcade fighting games. It looks fun. It looks like it'd be a good time with friends and stuff. But I have no way of playing it. I have no way of playing it. It looks fun though. I'm not gonna lie. It looked like it'd be a good time. Okay, Sonic R. Also never played this. I'm pretty sure these were on like what? The fuck? I think it was on Sega Saturn, I think. Both these games, I think they were on the Sega Saturn. This was a fighting game. This was another racing game, but they raced each other on foot instead of in cars because, you know, Sonic runs fast. Of course, they're all going to race on foot. I heard some people do like this unironically, but not everybody. This is one of those games people feel like Sega could try another attempt at, and maybe it could work. Same with this game as well. What's next? Oh, Sonic Adventure. Easy. S tier. Well, actually, no. You know what? You know what? No. Not S tier. I'm gonna say it's A tier, actually. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I'm comfortable with saying that. Hold on, give me a sec. I'm gonna pick another. Another song. Where is it? Why is this music so fucking creepy? Anyways. Hey, there we go. There we go. That's what I like. The reason I want to put Adventure in S tier because, or not S tier, A tier, is because the game overall is like really fun. Like playing as Sonic is fun, going through all the levels, and just the adventure style gameplay is fun. With Tails, flying around the levels is fun. With Knuckles, his deal is treasure hunting, but it's a lot better in adventure and a lot more fun. It's a lot shorter too. The treasure hunting stages in this game are a lot more shorter, and that's kind of a problem I have with Adventure 2, which I'll get into in just a minute once we get to it. Yeah, some of the things that hold me back from this though are when you play as Amy, because she's just like a really dumb, really dumbed down version of Sonic in every which way. It's like playing on hard mode, but not a fun hard mode. Then there's Big, that's literally just fishing, and it's not really fun or bad either. It's just boring to me. It's just really boring to me. And then there's Omega. Wait, was his name Omega? No, his name wasn't Omega. His name was Gamma. Yeah, there's Gamma. That is just. I think it's literally just like the equivalent of mech shooting in Adventure 2, which was alright, but it's not. It wasn't fun. And the graphics, while I do like them, they are definitely very outdated, as well as the voice acting and the animation in the cutscenes. My lord, it is. It wasn't even good for the time either, like the animations and the voice acting, because you had other games at the time like Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation, Mario 64 that looked a lot better, looked a lot more well animated and stuff. And I don't know what happened with Adventure to where the animation or the presentation in general was just bad. The gameplay was great, but the presentation really holds it back by like a lot. And that's why I can't really give it the S tier. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that Adventure 1 is A tier at best. Alright. Now, Sonic Pocket Adventure. This was the game that was literally on a device nobody had, including me, which is why I'm going to put it in never played, because, again, I never played this one. This was basically just... Okay, this was literally a pocket... The console this was on was a handheld. It was called the Neo Geo Pocket. And it was basically just that little console's version of Sonic 2. It was good, it wasn't bad, but literally nobody had that console. So nobody even had this game or a way to play it. Yeah, and that's all I can really say about this one. Sonic Shuffle. This was also one I never played, because basically what this is a Sonic party game. And it's not a good party game. This was basically their answer to Nintendo's Mario Party, but they didn't really make it fun or anything like that. The story didn't make sense for it as a party game, because it's like they're all just going up against each other when they're on the board, on the game board, when they're a team. They're supposed to be working together. I don't know. And I've just heard like a lot of bad things about this, so I may never really try to play this one day. Okay. Alright. Who is texting me? Go away. Jesus. Alright. Next up is Adventure 2. And I know some Sonic fans want me to put this in either this tier or this tier, but I can't do either of that. Instead, I'm going to put Adventure 2 in B tier. The reason I say that is because I enjoy Sonic and Shadow stages, which are basically just, just like the stages in Adventure 1. You're running, jumping, spin dashing, homing, attacking, all of that. Just Sonicking, basically. Then there's the mech shooting with Tails and Eggman, where you're just sitting in a robot and you're just pressing the fire button over and over and over again on just whatever random enemies pop up in your way. To me, that wasn't fun. It was just repetitive as it went on and on and on from every mech shooting level. And then the treasure hunting stages. I don't enjoy the treasure hunting stages in Adventure 2 at all. Some of the stages get way too big and way too open. The radar is messed up to where you have to find one piece at a time, where in Adventure 1, you could find all the treasures at the same time, but in Adventure 2, it's one at a time. You could be next to one that you could just grab right there, but because it's not the first one you're supposed to be getting, you can't get it. And they give you hints on where like the treasure pieces are and stuff, but the hints are so vague, it's like you can't even really figure out what they're telling you. And then later on in some of the later stages, when they give you hints, the hints are either backwards or scrambled or something. It's just like, oh my lord, do you want me to find these emerald shards or not? It's just not a good time for me. But Sonic and Shadow stages, I feel like make up enough to where I wouldn't say Adventure 2 is down here or anything like that, but they do dumb it down to where I can't put it up here either. So B tier is the best I can do for this game. I do like it, but I will not say it's my favorite 3D Sonic game. Not by a long shot. Ooh, I'm really stepping on some toes with that comment. I'm not gonna lie to you. Ooh. Alright. Next is Sonic Advance 1. I think this game is alright. I'm gonna say this... Wait, no. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say this game is just alright. I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's kind of like just like what... Oh, whoops. It's kind of like just what Sonic 1 is. It's the first of its... It was like the first of its kind on the Game Boy Advance. It was fun. Most of the stages were fun. Then it dims... Then it just goes down in quality with that very final zone. Where there's just bottomless pits everywhere. The enemy placement is horrible. Then the final boss is not fun. Getting the Chaos Emeralds is a chore, because to get the Chaos Emeralds in Advance 1, you have to, in every single zone, you have to go out and look for a special spring. And if you pass it, there's no way to go back to it. You just miss it. Which is why I didn't even bother going after the Chaos Emeralds in my video on playing Advance 1. I just couldn't be bothered. But I go back to this one every once in a while too, just as much as I would Sonic 1. Yeah, I think this is a solid B tier game. Advance 2? Oh my god. C tier? Okay, here's my reasoning. Advance 2 has so many bottomless pits after just the first few zones. Literally after the first few zones, it's bottomless pit after bottomless pit after bottomless pit, dude. The amount of footage I had for Advance 2 alone was over 5 hours worth of footage, and literally like I think two of those hours were literally on just one zone in particular, because I kept falling in almost every single bottomless pit in that level. And I get the whole point of Advance 2 is it's supposed to be really fast, unlike Advance 1. Advance 1 plays like the Genesis games, but Advance 2 caters to more speedy gameplay, and I get that, but it's just like, oh, it was just so frustrating. Good lord. I hated it. I hated it for most of the ride. But I don't think it's a bad game either. I think it's just not my cup of tea, just like how I feel about CD. So yeah, C tier is where I'm gonna put Advance 2. Alright, next is Sonic Pinball Party. This was also a pinball game that was on the Game Boy Advance. Never played it. Sonic Battle. Also never played it. Okay, yeah, a good chunk of some of these titles I have never played. And I think are these mostly handheld titles? Yeah, these are mostly handheld titles that I've never gotten to play before. I think I've just played most of the console games, and there's just like a few of the handhelds. Sonic Heroes. Okay, this is a console game that I haven't played either. Shut up. There we go. Alright. Okay, yeah, never played. Okay, Advance 3 is also gonna go in never played. I am gonna do a video on Advance 3 very soon. I just haven't gotten to it yet, but for now, it's gonna go in the never played section. Shadow the Hedgehog. Also never played that. But I probably never will, because I've heard too many bad things about it. I don't really feel like playing this one. It's not really worth my time. So yeah. Sonic Rush. Okay, I'm gonna say Rush is B tier. And I'm not letting my nostalgia blind me, okay? Because Sonic Rush, this was my very first Sonic game. This was on the DS, and I was so excited when I got it that one Christmas as like a little kid. But when I look at it now critically, I want to say it's just B tier at best, because basically, you know, you're going through the entire story twice as Sonic, but then also as Blaze the Cat. This game also has its fair share of problems with the bottomless pits issue. Getting the Chaos Emeralds is a lot easier. I mean, it's basically the half pipe again, but you can guide Sonic on the bottom touchpad with like the stylus or something, and it's a lot easier that way. So I can't say it's like as bad, but this is not one I would go back to very often, honestly. But I do think it is a quality DS title as a Sonic game. Yeah, I feel solid putting this in just B tier. Sonic Riders. Can't say I've played this one. I know we had a Riders on the Wii. Okay, we had this one. We didn't have this one. I never got to play this one. Sonic 06. Oh my lord. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna say this is also a C tier game. So far we haven't had any D tiers because well, no, I see a couple D tiers on this list right here. But 06 to me is C tier because I do enjoy Sonic's levels for the most part, most of his levels. I could say the same about Shadow's because he plays pretty much almost exactly like Sonic. But then Shadow's levels also have like the random vehicle sections and are just not fun to control. And Silver's levels are just not fun at all to begin with for me, like at all. Exploring the little hub worlds they have in this game is not very fun because like sometimes you don't even know where to go, and the game doesn't even tell you where to go, and your radar isn't much help either. I mean like the cutscenes look weird to me. The story is nothing special to me. I don't care too much about it, but it's just not entertaining either. Yeah, I mean, once I played it, I see why everyone always just called it one of the worst Sonic games ever. It definitely felt like it, but with that being said, because I did enjoy Sonic's levels for the most part, I want to say yeah, it's a C tier at best. If it weren't for Sonic's levels being alright, then this would immediately be a D tier. Like, no question. What is next? Sonic Rivals. I did play this one. And it's another one that I also want to just say is B tier at best. This was also another race game that they had Sonic and everyone else race on foot. It was on the PlayStation Portable, or PSP. And it's alright, honestly, but I don't care too much about it. You know what, I'm actually gonna put it in C tier. Yeah, because I don't really go back to this one at all. In fact, all of these I pretty much almost never go back to. I do every once in a while, but almost never. And the same can be said for this one. It's alright, but nothing I feel like you should go out and play, honestly. Yeah, I feel comfortable saying that. What's next? Oh my god, secret rings. Oh my... nope. D tier. D tier immediately. D tier! Okay, I hated this when I played through it. I absolutely hated it. This was the first Sonic game on the Wii, I think. No. Yes. No, wait, yes. Yes, it was. It was the first Sonic game on the Wii. And if you ever played Sonic Dash on the mobile phones, if not on your mobile phone, if not, basically what Sonic Dash was, it was a Temple Run clone. And that's what Sonic in the Secret Rings basically was on home console. It was just like Temple Run, but you had to guide him with the Wiimote using like motion controls and all that stuff. You had to do this just to make him jump, and then do that to make him homing attack. Everything was just motion controls. And I hated every single bit of it, all the way up from beginning to end. The story is okay, but not enough for me to justify it to put it in C tier. This is D tier at best, and I'm glad when they made a second storybook game that they improved it a little bit. But this was a rough start for Sonic on the Wii. What is this? To offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, which... no thanks. Whoever this person is, no thank you. It's probably a bot. Okay, next up is Sonic Rush Adventure, another handheld game that I also just haven't played like at all. Yeah, not much about it. I heard it is kind of good though. It's actually got 3D. It actually has 3D cutscenes, and that's kind of impressive for a DS game. Really? Sonic Rivals 2. I can't say I've played this one either. I played the first one, but I never played the second one. Okay, next up is Zero Gravity. I want to say this is also a C tier game because I did like it, but it's kind of the same situation with like Rivals here. Like it's an okay racing game, but overall it's not the most fun, honestly, and I don't really go back, and I never really went back to it when we had a Wii. But I mean, I liked it. It was okay. Story's alright. Yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one either, honestly. Okay, Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood. Never played this one either, but I don't really plan on playing it because like it's an RPG, and I'm not the biggest RPG guy. Like, it'd have to be really good for even someone like me to get invested into it, and Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood is not one of those RPGs. Alright, what's next? Sonic Unleashed. Okay. This, in my opinion, is a solid A tier game. You know what? Actually, hold on. Do I want to put this A? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna say, yeah, this is an A tier game. I really love this was the start of like the boost formula, and I really love the daytime stages playing as Modern Sonic. It's as fast, it's really fast. There's so many obstacles coming in your, excuse me, so many obstacles coming in your way, and I know some people don't like that because it's kind of like a little too hard for them, but for some reason I just really like that challenge for some reason. And like, I mean, getting the S rings on here is very strict with the daytime stages, but it's still so much fun to me. It's just like, it's a rush. Sonic Rush, am I right? Anyways, the Werehog stages I did like as well. The combat, in my opinion, was pretty fun. But I will admit some of the stuff about it does annoy me, like every other person on the internet that talks about Sonic Unleashed. The Werehog stages, they're a little too long. They can get boring after a while. The combat can get repetitive, and I feel like that's more to blame on like the enemy variety, because there almost really isn't any enemy variety. After you play like the first 2 or 3 nighttime stages, I think you pretty much have fought against all the enemies that Unleashed has to offer, and yeah, they just increase the amount of enemies that you fight instead of increasing the variety of enemies that you fight in Sonic Unleashed. But for the most part, I still really liked it. I like the story and everything. And yeah, I currently don't have this game anymore, but whenever I could, I always went back to it whenever I just had a good craving for it. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. I do really enjoy this game. It's a lot of fun. Okay, no. I'll let this song play. What's next? Sonic and the Black Knight. Okay, this one I don't hate. This one I don't really hate at all, but it's also gonna have to be a C tier for me. They improved on this one compared to Sticker Rings because they didn't make it play like Sonic Dash again. They allowed you to just control Sonic the way you wanted to. You can go backwards, you can go forwards by controlling him with the control stick. But the sword mechanics were still pretty annoying. You kind of had to swing. You had to swing the Wii remote in order to swing the sword. It wasn't that fun, but I still liked it, and the story was pretty good too. You know, Sonic's starting off as like a cocky ass motherfucker at the start. Then you know he starts to be more noble and act more like an actual knight by the end of it. Yeah, I did enjoy the story. Gameplay is alright. It's cool that you can also play as Knuckles, Shadow, and Blaze in this as well. They don't really play as well as Sonic, in my opinion, but they were still fun to play as. It was still cool. It was a nice touch. Oh yeah, I forgot. These two also had party games as well. This had party games in it. They weren't fun, but it had them. This also had party games, which were also not fun, but they were there. Yeah, I think with just like the small touches they did with Black Knight that improved it over Secret Rings, it's a solid C tier in my opinion. Yeah, I feel good about where it is right now. Okay, Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. I want to say this is a B tier. Honestly, it is a really fun racing game. I remember when we had that on PS3, we did have a lot of fun with it. I have it on Steam right now, and I played it the other day, and it's still pretty fun to this day. It is kind of, like a little bit outdated. It's kind of standard as any go-kart racer really goes, but for the most part, it's still alright. I like it. I like it. I go back to it as much as any of these other titles that I put in B tier. Yeah, yeah, solid B tier. Yeah, solid B tier. Okay, Sonic 4 Episode 1, D tier. I'm gonna put it in D. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Oh my god, the physics are just... They're not... What Sonic 4 basically was... It was supposed to play like the Genesis games in a way, but it doesn't. The physics are just so weird. Whenever you try to roll down a hill, you stop in the middle of the roll on the hill. There's no momentum. And then he has the homing attack for some reason, even though it's a 2D game. The 2D games don't need the homing attack. It's so weird. My god. It was just bad. I didn't enjoy it at all. I got mad as heck all the time whenever I was playing through this. I just don't like it. What's Sonic Freeriders? Never got to play this either. But I did hear it was pretty bad. I mean, it was on the Kinect, so that's enough said. Hold on, let me pick another song. Okay, there we go. I like that. There we go. Okay, what's next? Okay, Sonic Colors. Okay. I'm actually gonna put this in A tier because this is also a title that I really enjoyed. I know a lot of people get mad whenever somebody calls this a 3D Sonic game, because I know there's mostly just 2D sections in there all the time. I get it, but it was still fun for me for the most part. I had so much fun going back to this all the time when they released the remaster. They released Colors Ultimate. It was fun. I got a good amount of hours on here. There were some things that I didn't like about it. Obviously, of course, where they had like 6 acts instead of like just 2 or 3, or 6 levels instead of 2 or 3, and not all of them were hitters. Yeah. Some of the music I don't really like in this game either, to be honest with you. The story is okay. It's pretty simple. But for the most part, this is a solid game to go back to every once in a while. I liked it. And yes, I will say I like this more than this. Yes, I will not hesitate to say that. So yeah, solid A tier game. What's next? Sonic Colors DS. Sonic Colors on the DS, I have not played. But I did hear it was pretty good. It's basically the third Sonic Rush game in the series. And you have Rush and Rush Adventure. This was basically Sonic Rush 3, in a sense. Sonic Generations. I'm gonna put that in S tier because they did a lot with this. Basically, all the modern Sonic stages played like Sonic Unleashed stages, the daytime ones, but just really good. But then there was also Classic Sonic, and he had a few good stages. Not all of them were hitters, though. But for the most part, I did like his stages as well. There are a couple stages that are kind of bad in here. I'm not gonna lie to you. Planet Wisp was not fun at all in Generations. Not fun at all. Super Sonic, when you unlock him and he's playable, is kind of underwhelming. Whether you're playing as classic or modern Sonic. The story is kind of underwhelming. Doesn't really take full advantage of the fact that, you know, it's an anniversary title. And it's reflecting on Sonic's past. Yeah. But still, the gameplay to me is enough to where... The modern Sonic gameplay specifically is enough to where I feel like this is a solid S tier game. Hold on, my dog's whining. Easy, buddy. Easy. Alright. But yeah, Generations in A, in my opinion. Sonic Generations on the 3DS. I can't... I've played this, but I can't say it's good. I want to say this is also B tier, because, I mean, it's still fun. It plays the modern Sonic stages play exactly like Sonic Rush. And classic Sonic, and the classic Sonic stages in this one, they feel kind of the same as, like, almost exactly the same as how they felt in, like, the Genesis games. It was fine. It was fine for the most part. Not terrible, but at the same time not very great. Just kind of in the middle in terms of quality. I liked it, but it's nothing special. It also doesn't take advantage of the fact that it's celebrating Sonic's past. Because like many other people, I feel like this should have celebrated Sonic's handheld history, since this is the handheld version of Sonic Generations. But yeah, for the most part, you know, it's an okay game. Not something I feel like you need to waste your time on, but yeah. Sonic 4 Episode 2. I want to say this is also pretty D tier. Again, I really didn't like this one either. Oh, I tried to at first when I made the video, but my god, I just didn't. I got so angry at some of the bosses, some of the stages. Oh my lord, it just wasn't fun, man. Ugh. Hated it. Hated it so much. God. Oh yeah, the special stages in both of these suck as well, by the way. Well, not really Sonic 2. They're just a half pipe again, but they're alright. But Sonic 4 Episode 1's cases, special stages suck. I didn't like them. Oh my god, I'm just remembering now how my experience was when playing those. Good lord, I didn't enjoy it. Sonic Jump. This is weird because Chug. Dogs over here acting crazy. Sonic Jump was a mobile game, basically. And where, you know, you're basically just trying to make him jump on platforms and go as high as you can, basically. It's one of those games. But, yeah, I did play it. It was alright. Nothing really to write home about. You know what, yeah, I think I'm just gonna put Sonic Jump in C tier. It's not something I would really go back. It's not something I would really go back to, but it's not bad. It's fine. It's all right for the most part. Chug, chill out, bruh. Here's Super Kenny. Well, hello there, Super Kenny. What's my favorite Sonic game? What's my favorite Sonic game? We'll get to that when I'm done ranking all of them. Chug, chill out. Get over here. He's just chilling by the door. Good lord. Anyways, what's next? Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed. Okay. This one, I'm gonna say is A tier. Because it's a lot better than what the first All-Stars Racing offered in terms of, like, fun, really. Basically in Racing Transform, for those that don't know, it plays like a kart racer, you know, standard kart racer. Then as you're going through the racetracks, the vehicles start transforming into either boats or planes because the terrain keeps changing. You could all of a sudden be in lakes, you could all of a sudden be in the air flying. It's really cool. It's really cool. I really like it. I'm actually currently playing this on a PlayStation Vita, actually. And that's actually a lot of fun to carry around with me to play every once in a while. But yeah, I think this is a solid A tier racing game. It's not giving again. It's not giving Mario Kart any run for its money, but still, very solid racing game. Some of the things that's holding it back for me though to put it in S rank is just like some of the challenges kind of annoy me for this game, and some of the character picks were dumb to me. Like Wreck-It Ralph, I feel like that was literally just because of Disney when they had Sonic be in the movie, and that's why Ralph was in the game. And, you know, Danica Patrick and all that other stuff. But yeah, for the most part, solid A-tier racing game. Next one is Sonic Dash. I'm gonna say this is an A-tier mobile game. As a mobile game, okay? As a mobile game, it's A-tier, okay? Because, again, this is basically a Temple Run clone, but for the most part, it's really fun. I still have it on my phone to this day. I go back to it every chance I get, really. Yeah, it's solid mobile game, honestly. My name's Jay. Well, hello, Jay. Nice to meet you. Sonic Lost World. Again, that's also one I'm still in the middle of playing for the channel. I haven't beaten it fully yet, so I can't give my full opinion on it just yet. So we're going to put it in the never played section. Along with Sonic World 3DS. I did have it on 3DS, but again, I didn't play the whole game. Just some of it. I don't have a 3DS anymore, so I can't finish this version either. So yeah, both of these are going into the never played section. Sonic Jump Fever, I don't know at all what this is. I've never heard of it. So I'm just gonna put that in never played because I never heard of it. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. This was a game that was exclusively on the Wii U. So it's gonna also go into never played because I didn't own a Wii U. I feel like there was no point for me to. It was just, I don't know. I thought the Wii U was always pretty dumb. I know I'm probably hurting some people's feelings with that, but it's my opinion. Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal. This is a title on the 3DS, but I didn't play that one either. I heard it does play pretty much exactly like this one though. I mean, this came out before this did, but you know, it plays similar to this one, which I did play this one. And we'll get to that when we get to it. Sonic Runners. Haven't played this one either, and it's actually impossible to play it nowadays, as far as I know. They took it down because they deemed it a failure as a mobile game. So yeah, there's that. Sonic Dash 2, Sonic Boom. I didn't play this one. This is, you know, the sequel to Sonic Dash, but it's all about Sonic Boom characters. Nobody really talks about this one. Everyone just talks about going back to this one, and I think this is the one they keep supporting to this day instead of this one. I don't know. But anyways. Sonic Boom Fire and Ice. I'm gonna say this one is also a solid B-tier game. I played it. It plays kind of... In other words, some people describe it as playing like a Metroidvania in a way. And I did enjoy it for the most part. It's kind of like my feelings for Generations 3DS. Nothing too great, but at the same time, nothing bad, honestly. I think this one's alright. It was fun. It was fun for what it was, but it's nothing mind-blowing. It's something you need to go out of your way to play. Sonic Runners Adventure. Again, I didn't play Runners, so I don't know what this is. What's with the adventure part and some adventure fever part in some of these mobile games? Did they update them or something? Okay. Sonic Mania. S tier. Oh, I love Mania. When I first got Mania, it was on the Switch. I put over 60 hours into this game alone. I loved it that freaking much. It was the celebration of 2D Sonic. They brought so many classic levels back and improved upon them in so many ways. The music was great. The original zones that they did put in this game were just so much fun. But this game is a bit alienating because there's so many callbacks to the past that so many newcomers are not going to get. So I feel like that can, for newcomers, it can diminish the experience a bit if you haven't already, if you're not already a Sonic fan, and you miss out on the callbacks. And a lot of the callbacks are what make this game really fun for me as well. But as a 2D platformer itself, it's still like so much fun. It's so much fun to go back to this. I still have it on my computer to this day. Oh man, I really love it. I really love it. Almost as much as I really love Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Whew. Yeah. Okay, what's next? Sonic Forces. Okay. C tier. Okay, the reason for that is because I don't think it's the worst Sonic game ever. I think people exaggerate when they say it's that bad. I mean, I would play this over 06, just to be clear. I mean, some of modern Sonic stages were all right. The Avatar stages were fine as well. It was mainly classic Sonic that was like really bad in Forces, in my opinion. The physics just felt wrong. He had the drop dash, but it didn't really help much with how classic Sonic played in Forces. And then, I mean, it's okay. Sonic Forces is okay in my opinion. It's meh. It's a very meh game. Kind of like a lot of these games on this tier list. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's the worst game of all time like some people do. I think it's a solid C tier at best. Oh my lord, Chug. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, anyways, what's next? Sonic Forces Speed Battle, okay. I'm gonna say this is also a C-tier mobile game. Basically what this was, it's kind of like Sonic Dash, but you're competing against other players, and it's more like a race instead of like an endless runner. You get powers and stuff. I guess it's kind of like a mobile game version of what Sonic R was. If I really think about it, it's like putting Sonic R and Sonic Dash together into a mobile game, a mobile game kart racer, basically. If that makes any sense, because like you have your items to shoot at people, to put in people's way, like obstacles and stuff. I mean, I like this one. It was alright. I didn't go back to it much though. It's an okay mobile game. It's an okay mobile game. What's next? Team Sonic Racing. Okay. I'm gonna put this in B tier as well, along with Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing, because like, this was a solid racing game to me as well. I did enjoy it for the most part, but it is kind of just, but it does do a lot that kind of makes it a lot less fun than what Racing Transform was. You don't even transform the cars in this game, as far as I know. The team mechanic, basically, Team Sonic Racing has its where it's team-based racing. So like, there's a bunch of team mechanics. You can like give each other boosts. You can give each other items and stuff. But it's a bit gimmicky with that, and plus, every time you do a team action with your teammates, it fills up a boost meter. And once you fill that all the way up, you get like a massive boost for your whole team. And it's really easy to grind out that boost bar by just like exchanging items to each other over and over. Like, it's a solid racing game, but like it's something better than this. And again, nothing giving Mario Kart a run for its money. Okay. I'll put on some different music in just a second. Nope. Hit the wrong thing. Here we go. I'll play this one. Oh, whoops. Oops, let me do that. Okay. Anyways, and now we have the final game on this tier list. Okay, for anyone who's new that came to the stream, I'm not counting either of these because I count Sonic 3 and Knuckles as one game. Okay, so I'm not counting either of these. Final game we have is Sonic Frontiers. In my opinion, another solid S tier Sonic game. In my opinion. When I first did that first playthrough of the game on stream, I did have a lot of fun with it. There were some parts of it that frustrated me, but for the most part, I just really, really loved it. The combat was, in my opinion, a lot more fun than Unleashed combat with the Werehog because, again, the enemy variety was there. There were so many different types of enemies you could fight. Exploring the islands is fun. It's still fun to just explore the islands itself. Like, let me show you my Steam page. Like, look, 66 hours. Okay, that's a lot of that. A lot of that was just running around the islands. That's how much fun it was to me. I even have all the achievements and stuff. I usually never go achievement hunting in a Sonic game. All right, that's how you know I'm not even joking. But yeah, the characters were great. The writing, getting Ian, I think it was Ian Flynn. Yeah, Ian Flynn to write the story was just a really good idea. The characterization was there. Voice acting was a lot better than we ever heard out of a Sonic game in quite a while, in my opinion. The cyberspace levels, those are not the worst part of the game for me, like most people say. I admit some of them are pretty bad, but for the most part, most of them are either good or alright. So the cyberspace stages are just fine, in my opinion. The worst part of the game for me was pretty much that pinball minigame at like the near end of like the third island. I hate that so freaking much. I hate that so much. Hate it. It's so stupid. Oh yeah, the supersonic boss fights. Oh my lord, the supersonic boss fights. I have to agree, they're some of the best supersonic fights that we've gotten in the series. Period. Supreme was probably my least favorite one. He was basically like a lesser Gigantos. Number three is Gigantos. He was a cool first boss, but he is pretty simple. But he was a great first boss, like a great introduction to how these supersonic boss fights are gonna play. Wyvern, the second boss. I mean, pretty much after you figure out you just have to parry his missiles, he becomes pretty easy. But it was still fun actually chasing him. I know in my video on the second island when I first played it, I did get kind of frustrated with Wyvern, but that's because I didn't figure out that I was supposed to just parry twice in like the second phase. That's kind of a user error. Honestly, that's not really a fault on the game. That's kind of my fault. That's kind of my own fault. But yeah, he was fun too. Knight, Titan number 3 was the most fun for me. He had the most stuff going for him. You could ride his shield and ram it right into him. You could, in the second phase where he's throwing the shield like he's Captain America, you could parry the shield and swat it back towards him. It's really fun. Really fun. The secret final boss, I didn't get to play that boss in like my initial playthrough on my channel because I didn't have the game on hard mode, but when I did do another playthrough on it on my own time on hard mode and played that secret final boss, I'll admit, yeah, just like everyone else has, it's very underwhelming. It's basically just Gallica. I mean, it's alright, but it's nothing special. Yeah. And it lasts for way too long, too, in my opinion. Okay. The music, I really do love most of the music in this game. I'll admit the boss themes, like everyone else says, those are my favorite. Like, that's to be expected. But, some of the cyberspace, soundtracks are pretty fun to listen to as well. Most of the soundtrack is pretty good. I do love this I do love the recent update they've done with the game by adding a boss rush and a cyberspace challenge rush. And then also the inclusion of the jukebox, where you can pick other Sonic, other Sonic songs from the other games and listen to it while you explore it, while you just run around the islands. I like that they did that. I really do. Um, what else could I say? This was just a this was just a game I'm glad did really well, because the second I did hear that this was going to be a free roam Sonic game all the way back in like 2020, I was excited, but then also worried because, like, again, before Frontiers came out, Sega had not been the greatest to us when it came to mainline Sonic games. There was Lost World that wasn't very good to most people. There was Forces, again, that wasn't good to people. That good to people. There was Mania, but Mania wasn't really enough to carry out all the bad stuff that happened throughout almost the entire last decade of Sonic games that have come out. Yeah, just a lot of either bad stuff or mediocre stuff. Yeah. But I'm glad this game did really well. I loved it very much. And yeah, I also have another video I also have another video coming out soon where I'm going I'm going through the battle rush actually. So look forward to that. This is also going to be a video as well. This is going to be like a little highlights video, because I am recording this as well. So yeah, those two videos are gonna be fun to edit. But yeah, this is my Sonic game. This is my tier list of every single Sonic game that I have played. Uh, yeah, I feel confident about this tier list. I think it's okay. I think I did a solid job, honestly. Now, to answer your question, Izzy, like, what's my favorite Sonic game? Um, if I'm being specific on like my favorite 2D and favorite 3D Sonic game, for 2D, it goes to Sonic 3 Knuckles hands down. I have played this multiple times ever since I was a little kid, and I had it on the DS. Always fun. What? Oh god, that was my mother. But yeah, it was just so much fun to play on the DS when I was a kid, and it's still fun to play through now, even whenever I have the time to. This will always be my favorite 2D Sonic game. Probably my favorite Sonic game of all time, if I'm being for real for real. Now, for favorite 3D Sonic game, I have to give it to Frontiers. I haven't loved a 3D Sonic game like this in such a long time. I consider it more fun to go back to than Generations. Generations is still fun in its own right as well as other stuff like Unleashed and Adventure and stuff. But Frontiers, to me, is just way better than that. It's just not way better, but somewhat, just a bit better. You know what I mean? Yeah, for favorite 3D Sonic game, it goes to Frontiers. And for favorite 2D Sonic game, it goes to Sonic 3 Knuckles. But favorite Sonic game of all time, it goes to 3 and Knuckles. Hands down. And yeah, that's my take on every single Sonic game of what tier they belong to. Originally, this was like the E tier section, but I edited it to just be never played because I needed a never played tier. Because I'm realizing now there's a lot more of these titles that I have not played than titles I have played. But yeah, I mean, most of these titles are handheld ones, probably ones that you don't even know about. And yeah, hold on. Eh, what the heck? Pause. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty much I'm pretty much finished basically. Not a very long live stream, but I figured this would be fun to do live with having other people like talking in the chat and watching me go over this. Uh, but yeah. Um, yeah, I really don't have anything to say. I'm looking forward to whatever they have planned next. They still have two more updates. Chuck, what are you doing? He's like rolling around. I don't know what he's doing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever else they have planned. Whatever the next Sonic game is going to be, I'm hoping it's also going to be just as fun. Because they saying that they are going to pursue what the formula is they use for Frontiers in the next game, I think. Some people are saying there's going to be a new 2D game coming out this year. I don't know if that's true or not. Hopefully it is. I would love to have another new 2D game. Maybe it'll be the sequel to Sonic Mania. Hopefully. That would be awesome, really. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. And I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a day for the stream so I can get right to editing the videos. And yep, that is my Sonic Games tier list. And with that, I will see y'all in the next one. Had to put the little outro in there for the video. Yeah, I'll see